I'm so happy. Appears Metacritic is just down. Since, you know, I can go to other websites. If I type in Metacritic Spyro. Year of the Dragon. Is that the first one? I'll assume it is. It's also down. Let me type in. Just Wikipedia, I'm sure we'll have it. Spyro. Wikipedia. Alright, original PlayStation trilogy. 98 to 2000. There's multi-platform and handhelds. There's the Reignited. Let's click on the Reignited trilogy. Reignited trilogy. Okay. Spyro the Dragon. Alright, let's see. Reviews. 85. 9 out of 10 IGN. 82 on PlayStation. 7 out of 10 on Edge. Reignited trilogy. Got 82s. So the game, you know, was pretty alright scores. And the, you know, before and after pictures graphically are much improved. It looks significantly better, don't get me wrong. Spyro 1 sucks. Spyro 1 is not a good game. I do not like Spyro 1, and I'm looking forward to playing Spyro 2, because it means I will never have to play Spyro 1 again. That is my essay on why Spyro 1 is not a good game. I'm confronting Nork. Oh shit, am I done? I'm done, that's great. The next thing's probably... The next door is probably like Nasty's loot or something, and I know that exists, and I'm not doing it. I'm not even starting 2 today. I'm sick of this fucking game. Once I beat Nork, I'm done. I'm gonna cool down for a bit. Probably play it on another day. I don't even know what's happening. Someone's trying to bother me. Oh, you must be Nasty. I'm so glad, you know, after all this build-up, he's able to confront me with a big epic speech and a boss battle, really bringing home the character here and his motivations. I'm so happy we were able to finally get closure with this boss after all we've been through getting up to him. With some sort of confrontation or acknowledgement of our skill. That's... At the end of the day, I'm really glad we had that. Here I was thinking this game wasn't very good, and you know, there's things they could have improved on other than the graphics, but they showed me. Yes, sir, they did. Goodness me, do I feel like a fool. That was wonderful. You know, that confrontation of the boss right there. I couldn't be happier with that particular setup. I mentioned how much I love that this is the boss fight right now. After all this, I'm so glad, you know, we really got down and started fighting Nasty Nork right away, you know. Had a nice scene where we confronted him and, you know, the big boss of the game let up, you know, a big diabolical laugh and everything. And then we really got into the meat and potatoes of the fight. The important stuff that mattered. Not some bullshit where, you know, we run around chasing an unimportant individual. A real, just... I mean, there's a lock on the door! But yeah, as I was saying, the whole starting off, you know, right into the middle of the thick of it fight with Nasty. Like I said, we have a nice scene with him to really round out the game. And then we start fighting him right away. And it's a true test of skill and everything we've learned up until this point. You know, the major fire breath and the supercharging and, you know, the difference between enemy armor types. And it's really well done, I thought. You know, It combined all of our skills together in a big, epic boss fight. That's really, really well designed. You know, I really also liked how, the boss fight wasn't just 1 or 2 hits. It was, he had a health bar, and I felt challenged. Like, oh man, this is a real, legitimate threat here. I'm gonna need more than just my headbutt and some fire to kill this guy. And, I also really liked how, he was on screen for the majority of the boss fight. Really felt like he had a sense of presence and was there and present for the fucking fight. That was also really great. I'm so glad that they didn't feel they needed to upgrade the mechanics of this game. It was just the I agree. That was 10 out of 10. 85. This game's a 60. It's average. Slightly above average. There's still... I like a lot of the platforming, even though I gripe. But just... Yeah, alright. You know what? 55. You got a 55 there, game. Happy now? Fucking pleased with yourself? Spyro 1 is awful. Like, we've just... At the time, I'm sure it was great. I am positive this game was hot shit when it came out, and rightly so, I'm willing to bet this game, the praise it got, it deserved when it came out. We came so far since then in gaming, and it feels like they didn't bother to learn from that. Gave it some old spit and polish, and that was it. They improved things in the Crash Bandicoot one. The hitboxes were different. If anything, the hitboxes actually made the game harder, but you know what? They also improved other things. The jumping, I believe, they did something where they improved the jumping. They either made it tighter or, like, you could move in midair or something. It was like you could crouch and then jump, like, right from the get-go. It wasn't just something you had to wait for to unlock. It was like, nah, you just have that move now. You could swap between the characters. And then when I did get to him, he confronted me in a showdown of proportions and didn't just, run away. Maybe he's going to an arena. I shouldn't judge. Game's almost over, after all. Means the ending is in sight. I'm sure we'll get some cutscene at the end where it's like, ah, you did it, Spyro. Good job. But you still have more gems to collect. And then I can be like, fuck that. Haha, I'm not doing that. Oh, aren't I witty for not playing the game all the way through. And then I just move on to 2. So close. We're nearly there. Alright, Alright, my own ineptitude aside, it does seem like he... okay, no, he's still running away. My own ineptitude aside, it does seem like... No, that's repeating myself. My own shortcomings and ineptitude aside, this is a... it's not a bad game. I know I kept saying it sucks. It's really not a bad game. There's a lot they could have improved on that they didn't, though, and I'm really disappointed by that. And I know you're trying to preserve the original, but... why? The original's not that good. It's alright, but it's not worth keeping around. I stick with this was not a game worth remastering, if it weren't for the love and nostalgia people have for, hopefully, the other two. Because I really don't see how anyone can have love and nostalgia for... It's just not that good of a game. And this boss fight, I just realized I need to chase this fucker. He's got a giant fucking hammer, and he's like, no, I'm not actually going to fight you. You need to chase me and headbutt me in the butt. That's what needs to happen. And it's like, really? I thought you were leading me to, like, an arena where we would show down. I cannot wait for the next games where, you know, there's a plot beyond kill the guy because he's different from you. Like, for God's sake, Spyro, it's just... Fire? What hurts him? What the fuck do you do? I'm ramming this guy. I'm breathing fire on him. I'm chasing him down. I literally have no idea what I am supposed to do to this guy. I was kidding when I said I liked how... I was being sarcastic. And it was like, I like how they had us use all the things that we've learned to our advantage. I figured that's what we would do. Because that's what a good game design would be. But no. It's just this. And I genuinely have no idea what they want from me. I headbutt this son of a bitch. I breathe fire on him. What was that achievement for, I wonder? I'm curious. Trophies, it's in here somewhere. Dragging On and On was what it was called. Okay, that's... sure. I already unlocked that one. It's just not updated. Gee. So glad I got that achievement. Go down here. I didn't really see where he went. I don't think he went down here. I probably went the wrong way and I have to lap all the way back around. I understand... Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I understand games were harder back in the day. That is not something that is lost on me. I understand they should not have made the game easier to accommodate new audiences. That would have taken something away from the game, and I get that. But honestly, think about what I'm saying. Like, ignore the fact that you played this when you were a child. Do you see how this sucks? Not the game, just this section. This is the boss fight, alright? This. Chasing him. After all we've been through, with the supercharging and the super breath. You know, gliding all over the place. What do we get at the end? Chasing some guys for some keys. and then chasing him. That's not good. And you know, if it were 1, okay, but what do we get after we beat 1? You get to do it again on a different path. Like, really? In 1998, when the game came out, fine. In 2018, when this game comes out, really? It gets credit for being like the original, but the original wasn't great. So therefore, this isn't great. Again, it's not a bad game. It's an alright game. It's just, it missed so much. You could have improved upon this game significantly more than you did. I'm sure 2 and 3 are better. I look forward to 2 and 3. I'm going to take a break from this after I beat it, so that I play 2 and 3 with an open mind, and, you know, go in fresh, hopefully ready to enjoy a nice, you know, clean game of Spyro the Dragon, or whatever 2 is called. Esmeralda's birthday party or some shit. I don't fucking know. I know one's Ripto's Rage. Literally no idea what the other one is. I probably could have told you the first one was just Spyro the Dragon. That's easy enough. I know one of them is Ripto's Rage. I have no idea what the other one is. Yeah, fuck you. Alright, in we go. Oh, boy. And there are things like, you know, they had Nork sitting around. These are going away. That's not good. Fuck you! Aw. If I have to do that all again, because I wasn't fast enough. Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? Hey, I found another thing they could have improved on, guys. But, you know, in the opening cutscene with Nork, and he's hanging out at home watching TV, and he gets insulted, I'm willing to bet that probably wasn't in the first one. You know, he had motivational posters all up around his house, and a bunch of, he had a bunch of shit in the corner that, you know, looked like soda cans. So he had something that made me chuckle. I can't remember what it was. But it was funny. You know, and they improved upon that. They looked at that and said, how can we update this so that it's more relevant and funny? And they did! That was genuinely funny. And then the rest of the game, it was just like, meh, fuck it, give it a nice new coat of paint and send it out the door. If you find an old, crappy car that worked great 10 years ago, it's probably not going to work now, and giving it a new coat of paint isn't going to magically make the car better. It's going to look nicer, but it's going to run like shit. And I get it, you know, they built the game in a new engine, but, yeah, it's... Actually, I don't know if they did. I know they did for, Crash Bandicoot. I know they rebuilt the game in an entirely new engine. And that allowed them to improve upon a lot of stuff. I don't know if they did that for Spyro or if they just made it look better. And I would like to think they just made it look better, because otherwise that means they built a new engine and it controls like this. Because the engine is kind of shit at controls. I stick with, you know, when I really, you know, step back from my impotent rage at, you know, failing. Alright. When I step back from my impotent rage at failing because the controls are shit, I do... Like, sometimes he can turn really tight, like here. Yeah, like, I can turn tight, but there are other times I can't turn for shit on the running like this. And it's... I don't know why that is, but it's very inconsistent and incredibly annoying. You may have noticed it earlier when I was scraping against walls and crashing into them. It's because he wasn't turning. And I realized if I let go of the stick and then have him turn again, he actually corrected himself. Yeah, like that. It wasn't a very tight turn, but there it was. Meanwhile, this right here, bam, what a tight turn. Basically caught up with him right there. It's an alright game. There's a lot of problems with it that they should have improved upon. But I mean, it is still charming. There's charm to be had here. Something just that's nice about the game. I can't deny that. I also cannot deny that they should have improved upon stuff. Even mechanically, if you're like, nah, they shouldn't have improved the mechanics. It's the original game. Fine. Your call. I didn't play the original game, so I don't want that. I want improved. Feels much better. We live in 2018 where, you know, fun gameplay games have been made since this, and we could have improved upon it. But if you want the sake of, you know, preserving the original, it's whatever. You grew up with it. It's your game. It's not my business. But remember when I was banging on about, oh, I loved that cutscene that we had when we confronted Nork. Really, made me feel like we had achieved the end here. That wasn't a joke. Alright? Why didn't we have that? You re-recorded all the voice line. You added shit in a cutscene that, you know, concerned him and, concerned him and, motivational posters. Why in God's name? Didn't you add a cutscene at the end about confronting Nork? Was that really too much trouble for you? Were you like, oh gosh, we only paid the voice actor for 30 seconds of dialogue, which he got it right at the end when he goes, ugly! And that's it. Fucking time to ship the game. Goes out tomorrow. We put all the effort into 2 and 3. Like, that wouldn't have changed the mechanics and would have been better. So even if you argue, oh, the mechanics shouldn't have been changed, that's still a glaring error. There's no character or story on display here. The dragons pop in briefly. A large chunk of them, especially at the end, just go, thanks for releasing me, and piss off. It's kind of cool that they gave them outfits to match their personalities, but it's not like that's important. Yeah, it looks nice. Oh, this one's a painter. This one collects dolls. This one's an astronomer. It's all very well and good. It's, you know, it's very pretty and looks impressive. End of the day, it doesn't matter for shit. It's not like, you know, by saving the astronomer dragon, I've unlocked the space level or anything, you know? Or saving the cook dragon, I now am able to craft myself better meals that heal me fast. No! And I'm not saying the game would be better with that. I'm saying it just doesn't matter. You get a little bit of credit for making it look nicer, but ultimately, there were so many more important things to improve on. And you know, if you really want me to stop complaining, you should be rooting for me, because that will make the boss fight go quicker. This horrible, horrible boss fight. Which they should have improved. The boss fights suck. In particular this one, because there's no goddamn checkpoints. And you know, I get that that's a weak thing to ask, more checkpoints making the game easier. Every other boss fight had a checkpoint! Certainly once I got to them, they did. Maybe not once the fight started, but, you know... Is that my doorbell? No. Once I actually got to them, there was like a dragon who said, yo, hey, here's a tip for beating him. And then if I died, I didn't have to do the whole level again.